If you're someone struggling with lower back pain, posterior hip pain, SI joint pain, or sciatica, one of the best things that you can do is kind of stretch out your hip. One of the muscles that we're going to be targeting is the piriformis, represented here by the orange band. And when that muscle gets taut, it kind of tugs on this sciatic nerve, which is going down the leg, and that can kind of be a hidden cause of sciatica or piriformis syndrome. So we like to screen the low back in our office, but then a lot of times whether it's low back pain, SI joint pain, or other, we like to stretch out the hip in a nice, easy way. I'm going to show you 3 different variations of various difficulties to kind of start to mobilize and see if that will really help relieve some of those symptoms you're experiencing in this region. So in this model, if we're trying to stretch out the right side of the hip or the piriformis, we're going to lay on our back and we're going to cross our right leg over our left knee. And then from this position, make sure your head's supported. You're going to reach through, use a towel if you have to, if your arms aren't long enough, and you're just going to grab that. And then from here, you're going to pull your left leg towards your head, and you should feel a stretch in kind of the back pocket region of your right hip. You're just going to do a hold for 5 seconds, and then relax. Hold for 5 seconds, and then relax. A lot of times we call this the supine figure 4 because if you look at your legs, they look like the number 4. Give that a try. That's our first hip stretch. The next exercise I really like because it's a little bit more portable. You can do it at the office. So if you think about now we're in the sitting position, spine's like this. We're going to cross our right leg over our left knee once again. Our left foot is flat. We're going to throw an arch into our lower back. Okay, we don't want to aggravate our lower back while we're trying to stretch our hip. Take a little bit of pressure, push that knee, that right knee towards the ground, and then you'll start to feel a little bit of a stretch, and then from there you're going to keep the integrity in your lower back and pull your chest forward like somebody has a rope and they're just pulling you forward. You're going to hold that for a few seconds, kind of feel that stretch, and then relax. Once you get to a point where you don't feel a lot of tension anymore, you can actually take that knee and pull it towards midline to kind of change the angle of that stretch on that hip fiber. So give that a try if you're kind of doing this where you push down and move yourself forward and you don't feel it anymore. Just adapt the angle of that leg, kind of keep that integrity in your lower back, and you'll continue to feel that stretch in that hip. The third stretch we're going to perform for that hip or that piriformis muscle is an elevated pigeon pose. You can do this on the ground. It's a popular yoga pose, pigeon. So we're going to kind of thank our yogis for this. But what you're going to do is you're going to put your right leg up on a slightly elevated surface. You're going to keep the integrity in that lower back. You can kind of support yourself with your arms. And then you're just going to kind of walk that other leg back so you can kind of sink into there. And then from here, I like to create a little bit of a muscle energy technique, meaning I'm going to contract the muscle I want to stretch. So we're going to contract that by kind of lifting up, pushing our knee into the table. We're going to hold for a few seconds, and then we're going to relax and kind of sink into that a little bit further. So we're using muscle energy to get a really deep stretch in that right hip with an elevated pigeon pose. So this is a great place